What is going on? We are live. Clark, I'm super pumped to see your new video, man. I'll have to check it out once I get off here, once it's up on YouTube. What's going on, Lady Bass? Jake, how's it going? Yeah, you'll notice that about, maybe if you're lucky, 100 people will see your first video, and then beyond that, then you'll start to see it grow, I guess. So you think sitting inside? Got myself a mystery tackle box commercial here on my YouTube video. What's going on, everyone? We're going to give people a couple minutes to get on the stream, as usual. But, yeah. Feel free to shoot me some questions whenever you want. Trying to check something. I don't know if Instagram family. What is? Well, Instagram family. What? Okay. Well, it looks like it might have worked, I guess. I got a notification from Instagram saying that my post never went through, so I don't know if it did or not. But anyways, you guys are here. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it, man. Favorite color jig in clear water. There are two main colors that I'll throw in clear water. The first one being green pumpkin, blue flake. That's my favorite, ultra favorite color. I like it, any jig with green pumpkin and blue in it. And if you guys watched my video from yesterday, where I talked about my top 5 baits for this season, one of them was a jig in a 1/2 ounce size, and it's actually called Magic Craw. Let me grab it for you. So the jig color is called Magic Craw, and it's green pumpkin with like blue iridescence, or like blue pearl in it. And that is my favorite color, probably all around. My other favorite color is like a crawfish color, so browns with a little bit of orange and maybe some green pumpkin, but really just go as natural as possible. So the Magic Craw or a brown with some green pumpkin and orange is a great color as well. My boat is done. They have to water test it, so I haven't gone down and picked it up yet. I really should, but the problem is it's a 5.5 hour drive. It's almost 6 hours round trip to go get my boat, and it's not really ready. So I don't know if I'm going to get it right now or not. So what's going on, Joe? How's it going, Bobby? Everyone, how's it going? Yeah, I typically always stick with a 1/2 ounce jig. That's just my confidence, because I can pick up a jig and know if it's 1/2 ounce, I can skip it really easily without having to adjust my reels or change my reels if I tie on a different rod. Almost all the time I'm throwing a 1/2 ounce. Why no pond videos, Landon asks. There's not a ton of ponds around me. I do a little bit of bank fishing, like a very, very, very little bit, but a lot of it is on a boat. I'd rather be on a boat trying to figure out fish, trying to chase and pattern fish, than I would stand and fish from a bank. But if that's something that you guys want to see, I might do that more next season. Jay, thanks for logging on, man. I appreciate your support. Just like everyone else, I appreciate everyone's support on my channel. So it means a ton. Clark. If you're telling me you watched a lot of my older videos, hopefully they weren't too cringeworthy. One thing I did at the end of the season, is I put this little fuzzball at the top of my camera, and the way I did this is I got some double-sided sticky, I don't know really what it is. It's double-sided sticky goop stuff, and it acts as a wind muff for my video, or for my video camera. And if you notice, early on, my videos sounded a lot like this. Hi, my name's Ben. But now they don't sound near as bad. So, yeah. Yeah, Clark, exactly. So that's the thing. I a lot of times change the rate of fall on my half ounce by changing my trailer. So if I want my jig to fall slower, I'll put a bigger, bulkier trailer on it. If I want it to fall faster, you can put something on it like a flipping bait that doesn't have a ton of movement, like the Gambler Why Not. I'm not sponsored by Gambler, but I just like a lot of their products. So a bait that kicks really heavy, like a double tail grub or even a chigger craw, is going to slow the rate of fall down on your jig versus something that doesn't have a lot of action falling through the water. Lady Bass, you said you're debating on joining a bass club as a co-angler. Is it worth the knowledge in the time, or is the knowledge worth the time? If you want to get into tournaments, I would say yes. A lot of times what I found is you can gain a lot of the same knowledge by going out and fishing with people. Instead of joining a bass club, you can just go out and fish and get other people on your boat with you and fish with them. But the biggest thing there is, too, getting on the boat with someone who wants to fish with you, right? Or not who wants to fish with you, who can show you something new, I guess. It doesn't have to be someone better than you. I've learned a lot from people that are almost new anglers, right? It's just a matter of getting out on the water with other people. Shimano Crucial, is it worth the money? I've never fished it. I know some people that have the Crucials and they like them. The spinning rods, I don't know of anyone that has a Crucial flipping rod or bait casting rod. So I'm very mixed on the zero gravity jigs, because they can be, like you say, Joe, they can be a great fish catcher. But my problem is, how do you cast them? Are you going to, do you throw them on a spinning rod? Do you throw them on a bait caster that can handle virtually no weight? I mean, and that's a question for you guys. I don't know how to fish the zero gravity jigs. Yeah, Lady Bass, that's a good point, because if you're a co-angler in a tournament, you want to have someone that is going to be able to get you on fish. So I don't know. My thing, and one thing I found, is find people that just are passionate about the sport and want to be better fishermen, want to be better anglers, and get out on the water with them. You don't necessarily have to be part of a club to go out and learn a lot from other fishermen and other anglers. Hey Kyle, it's good to have you on here, man. I'm hoping that we can get on the water this spring sometime, because that'd be a lot of fun. What's my favorite cranking rod? One of my favorite rods that I have right now is a 7'3" medium, or it's a 7'3" 3/4 heavy moderate action rod, and it's made by Big Bear Rods. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's in between a medium heavy and a heavy. And what that does is it allows that rod to have enough backbone when I'm throwing like a 6 cents 300 DD or a 5XD to be able to set the hook into those fish when I'm fishing deep, but it also has enough play for me to keep those fish pinned. The biggest thing is finding a long rod that you can make long casts with, but still have enough backbone where you can set the hook into those fish. I saw FLW Fishing made this post today. Mark Rose was talking about some ledge fishing rods that he's coming out with, and I think those are going to be sweet. He has one designed specifically for the 6XD, and one designed specifically for like your 5XDs, your 4XDs, and so on down the line. If you guys don't know, Mark Rose is one of the best offshore ledge fishermen, crankbait fishermen in all of professional fishing. So I would personally check out those rods if you're looking for a new rod. It's the Lew's ledge rods. I don't know if they're out yet, but they'll be out soon. I'll have to check your giveaway out, Lady Bass, because as a lot of you guys that watch my channel know, I love to drop shot. Drop shotting is a great way to catch finicky fish all year long, right? But I really like it during the summer months after those fish. Well, if you're fishing smallmouth, you can fish a drop shot shallow, but I like to fish my drop shot for those. I'm sorry. I like to fish my drop shot for those deep smallmouth in the summer on the Great Lakes. Am I going to fish in Texas? I actually have a trip planned to go down to Texas to fish with Tyler Anderson, possibly Grant Langmore, and I'm hoping to either partner up with Lake Fort guy or someone else. I've sent an email to Lake Fort guy. I just haven't gotten a response. And Walker Wilson, I don't know what his plans are, but I would like to get out and fish with him. So I do have a trip down to Texas. I also have a trip down to Florida where I'm going to go down there and hopefully get on a boat with Mikey Balls. But we'll see. I have a lot of cool opportunities coming out in the next couple months as well as later this year. Yeah, I've actually collaborated with Lunkers when he was up here with John this fall. But he's out of the country right now. Him and John are out of the country, so I don't know when he'll be back. Yeah, tonight's awesome. I have 20 people watching, which is really good for a Wednesday night. A lot of people join, and there are a lot of people joining my Sunday show, but Wednesday night typically tends to be a little bit slower. Favorite color and weight of jig for smallmouth or 8-foot slate rock. If I'm throwing a jig, it's going to be a 1/2 ounce. Color around slate is either going to be crawfish color, so a brown with green pumpkin and orange, or you can go with a white jig if they have a lot of shad in your lake or a lot of, you know, smaller bait fish. So I'd either go with a crawfish or like a shad color bait. Oh, I think I missed a couple comments up here. How's it going, Major League Bassin? I am not going to be doing any more fishing with the Big Bass Dreams guys. Things didn't work out last time. Things were just very, yeah. So I won't be doing any more. My buddy Kobe is out fishing with them in California right now, but I will not be fishing with them anytime soon. I probably will not be going to Tip Up Town. I'm not a huge ice fisherman. I have to get on it. I have to learn how to ice fish. I just haven't yet. So, what's my favorite largemouth lake in Michigan? Either Secord Lake up in Gladwin, or there's another small lake in Gladwin that used to have big largemouth, but they basically just drained the lake, so I don't know what it's going to do to it. A lot of those lakes up here around me have some big largemouth. Kenton Lake down in Pontiac and Oakland area, that has some big largemouth and smallmouth. What's the other one? Pontiac has some big largemouth. I will be doing a meetup at the Ultimate Fishing Show next week. It's going to be in one of my videos where I announce the meetup, but it will be next Saturday. I will be doing a meetup at the Ultimate Fishing Show. So anyone that's going to be there, I will be there on Saturday, and I'll post it all over my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. So if you guys want to meet up at the Ultimate Fishing Show, I'll be there at the Frank's booth. I'll be all around the show, though. Bearded Bass Project, I have fished the Shadow Rep Deep. I like it a lot. It has a different action than a lot of those deep jerk baits because of the flat end on the bill. So it's a little bit tighter, and it doesn't cut as hard. But I like that, especially around these smallmouth. They get really lethargic. really early spring and then really late in the year. I've never fished Woodland Lake. Okay, someone asked, oh, I missed one. Sorry guys, I try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. So if I go back and say I missed a question, that's probably why. So if I miss your question, just post it in the comments, I'll get to it, I promise. Would I rather fish a tube around rock or a jig around rock? It depends on the time of year and what I'm fishing for. If it's spring, and those fish are pre-spawn or spawning, I'll probably throw a tube. If it's any other time of the year, I'm throwing a jig. And the only reason that I wouldn't throw a jig around the spawn is if there's smallmouth in the, if there's smallmouth in the lake. If it's only largemouth, I'm throwing a jig every time over a tube. But that's just me. I have a lot better hookup ratio and land percentage with a jig than I do with a tube. Yeah, so Chippewa Lures is my buddy Joe. Him and I fish together a ton, and they make these awesome smallie Bandit jigs. And what it is, it's a hair jig. It's like, I'm sure they have it in various sizes. It's a hair jig, and how do I explain it? It's a hair jig with a football head, and it's awesome for smallmouth. It doesn't have a weed guard. So if you guys hit share, yeah, so Joe, send me a text message about the giveaway you want to do. But yeah, we'll do a giveaway on the Chippewa Lures Bandit jigs. The thing about Chippewa Lures is they're made with Gamakatsu hooks, which are like the best hooks that you can possibly have. The best hooks that you can possibly put into a jig. Okay, so they have one with or without a weed guard. Clark, I will have to go check out your videos after this. Yeah, I know. Josh, we got to get out on that lake because I know we had talked about it a little bit this summer, but we'll have to get out on this lake, this spring. When would I fish a hair jig for smallmouth? Early in the year or late in the year when it's really cold. The thing about the hair jig is that hair is constantly moving and pulsating and kind of, it gives it like a living action in the water. That's the other thing about living rubber jigs. And that's what Chippewa Lures offers too, is that living rubber pulses and moves underwater. A lot of times what silicone will do is it doesn't have as much action. So I mean, sometimes those fish, here's my opinion on living rubber. It works awesome all year round, but it really shines when the water's colder. And that's the same thing about hair jigs. You're going to see them really shine when the water's colder because there's not a ton of movement, but when it's sitting still, you're going to have that hair kind of pulse and move in that colder water. It'll also be a lot slimmer. So your silicone and your living rubber wants to expand and get really big. That hair will expand a little bit, but it's going to have a little bit slimmer profile. Yeah, Nicole. Nicole always does a great job of sharing my stuff, so I really appreciate it. What depth would I fish a hair jig? If we're talking, because I have the tiny hair jigs. When I'm talking like the tiny hair jigs, like the VMC 16th or 8th ounce ones, that's like right before they're spawning or like late in the year. Chippewa Lures jigs are just a little bit bigger, and it's like a great crawfish imitation. You can just drag it along the bottom. But yeah. You guys are killing me. I want to go over and watch Clark's video now. So here's a disclaimer. I am sponsored by okay. So let me show you guys a video that Joe just sent me. Hopefully I can share it. Let me turn this light off. Let me show you guys this video Joe just sent me from Chippewa Lures. Let's see if I can get it. This is the Bandit jig that Joe's going to be giving away if we can get to 30 viewers on this live stream. So Joe's going to give me 4 of these to give away if we can get to 30 viewers on this live stream tonight. And he has it in a variety of sizes. He's starting to play around with some colors. So this is what he sent me. He has it in 4 different sizes: 1/4, 3/8, 1/2, and 3/4 ounce. It's a stand-up football head jig with a recessed line tie. So if you guys ever look at the football head jigs, recessed line tie is where there's like a groove in the jig, so your line tie is pretty much even with the body of the jig. That helps keep it from getting like stuck in the rocks. And then he has it standard tied with thread, and it has a wire trailer keeper to keep your baits on. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll be fishing with a lot of YouTubers next season. I have a lot of big plans coming out, so yeah. Stay tuned to my channel because lots of big things will be happening. Joe, if you want me to take some jigs down to the Ultimate Fishing Show, I think Frank's might have some. The store that I'll be working with, but there might be some at the Ultimate Fishing Show. If not, I can take some down with me. I love the Whopper Plopper, especially in the 90 size, the smaller size. It catches me a ton of big fish. It matches the bait fish really well up here. And it's just a great all-around size for that topwater bait. You also have the 130 size, which, let me show you. I have them sitting right over here. Okay, so this is the 130 size. This is in the perch color. Sorry, I have my light on, so it's not showing up very well. And then this is the 90 size. So there's a pretty big size difference, not only in length, but in the size of the body. This body is a lot bigger. This actually matches a lot of the fish sizes up here, like the bait fish sizes. But the thing for me is that I can get a lot of bites. I mean, I get a ton more bites. And just about the same quality on this one as I do this 130 size. So disclaimer too, what I was saying earlier, I am working with Beast Coast Jigs now, Beast Coast Fishing. They make both. They have the new Beast Coast Direct where you can order all your terminal tackle through them, but they also sell their jigs and all their tungsten through Tackle Warehouse. So you can order Beast Coast Direct where you can buy their tungsten flipping weights, worm weights, drop shot weights. Oh, what else do they have? They have a bunch of tungsten, and then they also sell their jigs through Tackle Warehouse. Sorry guys, I'm missing a whole bunch of questions. The Whopper Plopper used to be, well, it's designed after a musky bait. They have a lot bigger size one. They have the 190, and that one's for like giants or musky. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up on questions here. The 130, I think it looks a lot bigger than it is. That's the bait that Chris Lane almost won this year on. And yeah, sorry. Yeah, Chippewa Lures, they do have a site. I don't know. They sell a lot of jigs, and they're a tiny shop. It's just really two guys, Joe and Dave. So I'm gonna have to let Joe determine if he's gonna be able to keep up with jig orders, because they're a little bit behind right now. Thank you so much, Dawson. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for everyone that's on my live stream right now. Thank you for everyone that's sharing my page, has watched any of my videos. I appreciate this. What do I like to throw spy baits on? I actually don't throw spy baits a lot. But the recommended rod that I would tell you to throw it on is a 7-foot or a 7'3" medium or medium light action rod. And the thing is, or power rod. And the thing about that is you want to be able to make that long cast with that rod. So using the longer rod, the 7-foot or 7'3" is really going to allow you to cast that rod or cast that bait a lot further. Some guys go as far as throwing it on a 7.6 spinning rod. I don't personally own a 7.6, but you just want to be able to make long casts with that bait, because you're fishing typically pretty clear water. So the longer casts you can make, the further away from your boat you can get that bait, the more likely you are to get bit. Yeah, Real Northern Fishing is doing a giveaway here pretty soon. So if you guys want to go over and sub to him, and Jake's GoPro is trying to hit 1,000 subs tonight. So if you guys want to go over there and check his video out and subscribe to him, check it out. Dill pickle are my favorite. Dill pickle or the black sea salt, or the sea salt black pepper. So this is my new screensaver on my phone. I don't know how well you guys can see that. But what I've done is I've taken all my goals and put them on my screensaver, so I can see them every single day. And I encourage you guys to put your goals somewhere that you can see them all the time, right? I mean, that's part of the reasons that I made that goals video, is to make myself accountable to you. But by seeing my goals every single day, that helps keep me motivated, and it helps keep them in the forefront of my mind, so that way every day I'm consistently pushing myself to achieve those goals. Not a problem, Joe. I really appreciate it. If I see 30 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for the Chippewa Lures, the Smallie Bandit. So be sure to share my page with as many people that you know, so we can get up to 30 viewers tonight and give away some lures. Hey, Alex, what's going on? Good looking. What's my favorite bait to throw? Whew, that's really tough. For smallmouth or for largemouth? That's the question. For smallmouth, I'm going to have to say I like to throw moving bait for smallmouth. A lot of people think you have to throw like a super slow, super small bait to get bit. You have to throw a tube or a drop shot to get bit by a smallmouth. But what you guys don't realize is when you're throwing a moving bait, when you're throwing like a spinnerbait or a crankbait or a jerkbait or anything moving, that fish will absolutely just stop it. I mean, you'll be reeling along, and there's no doubting whether or not you got a bite. You're just reeling along, and your rod just kind of bends over, and that fish has it. So I like to fish. I really got into the swim bait game this year with those smallmouth. So I like that. But I also really like throwing a crankbait for catching big smallmouth. For largemouth, I'm going to have to say a jig. That's probably one of my favorite ways to catch big largemouth is on a jig. I think, one, you get bigger bites, and two, you get you get a lot of bites on a jig, and you can fish it a lot of different ways. Favorite braid to lead or not? Any tips for tying? So I actually got this question earlier on my video that I posted yesterday. I mentioned on my drop shot, I actually tie it to a swivel. So I go braid to like a small swivel to fluorocarbon. And the reason I do that is for two reasons, really. One, big confidence. It's just something I've done for a long time, and I've had no reason ever to change it. And two is line twist. A lot of people say braid doesn't have memory or braid doesn't have line twist, so you can just tie straight. I still think it helps keep your braid usable a lot longer, so yeah. Alex, I'm going to be on here probably another hour, man. It'll be close to 8:30, 8:45 before I get off. I don't have a certain time to stop. So if people keep asking questions like this, I'm going to be on here a long time. If you want to join, I'll send you the link right now. There you go, man. Alex, I just sent it to you. Yeah, the split shot or the swivel shot hooks, those really help eliminate line twist too. I do, however, tie a braid to fluoro leader if I'm flipping with like a like my 7/9 flipping rod. I'll tie a braid to fluoro leader, and I use a blood knot. One, it's just super easy to tie, and two, I don't know how to tie a surgeon knot, and I've never taken the time to learn how to do like a double uni, or what's the other one where there's like another really good one. So I don't know what it is. Yeah. So Frank's is actually not allowed to use this logo anymore. G. Loomis sent them a cease and desist. So this is the old Frank's logo. I probably shouldn't even be wearing this, but they will have. Let me show you the hoodie they'll have at this show next weekend. This is the new Frank's hoodie that you guys can get if you're going to be at the show next weekend. I don't know what Frank's is doing. This is Frank's Great Outdoors here in Linwood, Michigan, but I'm after them like every week to put this on their website, and for some reason they don't want to do it. So if you're at the Ultimate Fishing Show next weekend in Novi, Michigan, you can pick up one of those hoodies. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you. It kind of ticks me off because I'm trying to sell them hoodies or sell their hoodies for them, and they just won't put it on their website. So I don't know what's going on. But this is the old Frank's logo. What was I gonna? I missed a lot of questions. I'm all over the place tonight, guys. Modified Albright. That's the one that I was thinking of. That's the knot for the braid to fluoro leader. Wow, I missed a lot of questions. Sorry, guys. Ever targeted walleye? They're a big deal where real northern fishing's from. The thing is, my thoughts on walleye, I have gone out and targeted them. They're a lot of fun through the ice, but targeting them, what was I going to say? Targeting walleye with a boat is something I haven't really done, not in years at least. Alex, I'll send you the link again. I thought I sent it, but knowing me, I probably didn't. Or I sent it to some other Alex rod. I've not fished the Canadian side of Lake Huron. That's something I want to do. I want to go over and explore. Whoops, sorry guys. Explore the Great Lakes as much as I possibly can. I've really only kind of fished Lake Huron. I fished a little bit of Lake Michigan up by Traverse City, and I fished St. Clair and just the mouth of Erie. But I want to kind of expand on that and go fish a whole bunch of different places. I have some really cool projects in the work for next season, so you guys are going to see a lot of smallmouth. I've already talked to Alex about it, but I'm going to be fishing smallmouth on the Great Lakes about 90 to 95% of the time that I am fishing next year. What's up, Alex?
How you doing, friend?
Good, man. Dude, so I was watching Finding Dory the other night.
You right?
And there's this part in Finding Dory, because Alex, here's some backstory for you guys. On one of my live streams, Alex said, "See you later, buddy. Hope you find your dad." And I had no clue what that was from, right? And anyone that knows the Elf movie realizes that when he's leaving the North Pole, the Norwal, or whatever it's called, the thing with the little horn on his head, that's what he says to Buddy as he's leaving. Well, in Finding Dory, as he's leaving, as like Nemo and his dad are leaving the, what's it called? The turtle?
Mm-hmm.
It says something very similar to that. It made me think of you.
Cool.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So, hey, this question just popped up. I'd like to hear the two contradicting answers to this one, because it's going to be totally different. Most underrated smallmouth tactics.
You can go first.
Okay. I would say vertical jigging a spoon or a silver buddy. Even in the summer, like all year, it's one of the, like springtime, not so much, in fall, just because they go really shallow and they'll hang out there. But like summer and winter time, you can vertical jig smallmouth and catch some giants.
Mine are big crankbaits.
Okay. See, that's like normal for me, though, I guess. Like, it's normal for me to fish a big crankbait and catch smallmouth occasionally. Right. So, I mean, you know, yeah. Like, now, when you say big, you're just saying like 6XD size, not 10, right?
Right.
Yeah. See, when I come up, I'm going to bring some 10XGs just because I just want to see if they'll eat them up there.
See, I have 10. I have 10 in the 500 DDs, but
yeah,
I just haven't thrown them.
Really? See, the big, like I've caught some giant smallmouth in the summertime on a 10, and it's just like, I don't know, they can't get it in their mouth, so I've lost a bunch too. It ain't like a largemouth. Like a big largemouth will eat a 10 and you'll get the hard part of their mouth. A smallmouth, dude, it's always just like in the side of their face, or they like get it all in the side of their body and all that. So it's weird.
Well, and you got those giant hooks. You have those 1/0 treble hooks, right? So that fish has to get that 1/0 in its mouth, and I mean, anyone that's seen a 1/0 treble hook, that thing is pretty big.
And see, I switch mine up to 2s. I use 2/0.
Oh, dang, okay.
Yeah, I use 2/0, those KVD, the EWG trebles.
Yeah.
So let's see what else we got.
One of the questions I got was, I know, we got lots of questions tonight. Tonight's awesome. One of the questions that I got was, what is my favorite drop shot bait? And it's the Bass Magnet Lures Twitch. And that's for smallmouth. For largemouth, I'd probably say a robo worm. You can still use a 4-inch Twitch, but I just like that little bit bigger profile for largemouth.
I like a Fluke Junior. Like a little, like a little bitty Fluke.
I've thrown similar baits to a Fluke, but they're not like the Zoom Flukes. They're just whatever.
Yeah.
Wow, we got lots of questions. Early springtime tactics for river smallmouth. A jig or crankbait.
Or a
tube. Oh, yeah, spinnerbait too.
Yeah, the bowl of spinnerbait right under the surface. Woo, that is so much fun.
Yeah. Well, smallmouth kill spinnerbaits, man. They'll just come up and annihilate that thing.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you one tip that I give everybody about fishing a spinnerbait is always, well, number one, always put a trailer hook on there, because I have caught more fish on the trailer hook than I have the actual hook of the spinnerbait. And number two, always put a swimbait trailer. Put a boot tail swimbait trailer and put either like a dark line, like use a Sharpie and put a black line on the tail if it's clear water, or use a chartreuse if it's dirty water and put a line on the tail, and it gives something for the smallmouth to hone in on. and they'll just come right up behind it, get a full mouth of trailer hook, and you'll almost always get them in.
Dude, yeah, that's a great tip. Because that's something I don't do a lot, is put a trailer on my spinnerbait. A lot of times, I mean, I do it a lot with a chatterbait, and I even go so far as putting a trailer bait or a trailer hook on my chatterbait. I guess I just never thought of the same thing for a spinnerbait.
Always, man. Always.
When you're running that trailer hook on your spinnerbait, are you threading the swim bait on first and then put the trailer hook on top of it?
Yes, that's exactly what I do. And then that trailer hook will kind of sit right behind that boot tail. And what'll happen is, like, when that thing starts to run, the trailer hook will kind of lift up off of it just because of the turbulence of the blades, and that paddle tail can just paddle right behind it. And then sometimes it'll like lay down on it and it'll make it do like a weird kind of like darty thing. And I think that is just kind of something different for them to look at, and they'll hit it even then. Like, I've had smallmouth hit a Alabama rig when the swim bait's messed up. Like, the one will just be like rolling like that instead of swimming, and they'll annihilate it.
Huh. That's a good tip. Those of you guys that are watching, those are like the hidden nuggets of our show. Like, that's the reason why we do these live streams. So Alex actually just got a great, just did a great unboxing video for his big swim bait setup. I haven't bought anything yet. I just have the baits. So if you want to go through your setup.
I got it right here in the boat too, so I can show you guys. There's a little nugget of being at my house is when my mom yells down the steps to ask Bethany a question. I got a 8-foot extra heavy Daiwa DX swim bait rod. Here's the rod. I don't know how clear that's going to come in, but the DX, it's a 8-foot extra heavy. That's a 3 to 10 ounce rating. From everything I've read, you can comfortably throw about 7 ounces on here. 7 or 8. Going above that's going to kind of push it. And then I got a Daiwa Tatula HD in a 7.3 to 1. Before the question gets asked, the reason I went with a 7.3 to 1 is because I like to control my speed. And when I'm fishing the big glide baits, a lot of the times the wind blows a lot around here. And the lakes that I'm going to throw big swim baits on, there's always a lot of wind. So when the wind's blowing and your line will get a big arc in it, that 7.3 to 1 will help you catch up with that line and be able to make that glide bait dart. And then I pair that up 20-pound P-Line CXX, and then I got a mag draft on there. That's just the 8-inch mag draft. But that's it.
Yeah, and for those of you guys
I love it.
That rod, it retails for like 119.
110.
110. And I was apprehensive when you first told me about that rod. And then I started really looking into it, and you told me about it. That is like a super well-known rod for throwing big swim baits on. I know Grant Langmore, one of like these swim bait kings out in Texas, that's one of his favorite rods to throw swim bait on. And if you guys do any looking up on it, I mean, that's a great rod to throw those big baits on.
And it's got a 5-year warranty too. So, I mean, like, and it covers everything. Like, you can take it out back and whack it over a telephone pole and they'll cover it. So I'm all about that.
Yeah.
And then the reel I got, it retails for $199, but I got it for $115 on eBay. So go on eBay and look for reels before you go buy them full retail. The only reason I bought the rod on Tackle Warehouse is because that was the only way to get the warranty. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to catch a big old something on it.
I don't care if you guys have to log in from your parents' YouTube. If you guys want to do this live stream, or if you guys want to do this giveaway, go ahead and get us up to 30 viewers. Most I've seen us at is 22. We're giving away some Chippewa Lures Smalley Bandit hair jigs. One of my buddies is giving them away. But
the little hair jigs or like preacher jigs?
Yeah, I'll show you. It's a smaller jig. I'll show you guys the video again. Hopefully it'll show. So, come on, baby. So that's the jig we're giving away.
I dig it.
It's on a 1/4 ounce. They make it in a 1/4, half, 3/4, and or quarter 3/8, half, and 3/4 ounce. So if we get up to 30 viewers, we're giving away 4 of those. And I'll do that in my next video.
Yeah, I dig that. That's really cool. Sorry, I was having to tell everybody to be quiet because they were like having a conversation. I don't know what was going on there for a second. But yeah, like little, I don't
Jason
throw
said,
enough little hair jigs. I need to get more because those are smallmouth killers, man.
yeah. And especially that, I mean, it's not like a big profile of a standard football head. So, I mean, those fish annihilate it. Someone asked, should they get a boat straight out of college? It depends on your situation. And if you do, if it's your first boat, don't spend a ton of money. My first boat I spent $5,500, so $5,500, and well, that's my first bass boat, and that thing I fished out of forever. I mean, that was an awesome boat.
Yeah, it's all dependent on your financial situation and how much experience you have with driving a boat and towing a boat and all that kind of stuff. I mean, don't go out and buy a 21-foot skier and, you know, back it into the McDonald's drive-through sign or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and my biggest thing, too, is get on the water before you buy a boat. Go out with people that are really experienced, and spend as much time learning about fishing, learning about how to fish off a boat as you can before you go out and buy your own boat.
I'll tell you this much, guys, and this is kind of a bad example, but it's an example all the same. The Elite Series is coming to Cherokee in February. Mark my words, somebody will rip their lower unit off. And let me tell you why, because those guys don't fish that lake. And even though the graph says there's not a hump some places, trust me, there's humps places that people know about and you just know about because you fish that lake a lot that aren't on your graph, and somebody will rip their lower unit off. And the last thing you want to do is get on a lake when you've never been on a lake. You know, you may have bank fished a lake 1,000 times, but you don't know what's up the river channel 2 miles, and you could rip something off the bottom of your boat, tear your boat up, or even worse, kill yourself because you run your boat up on the land and something happens.
Well, yeah, and that's just, too, about not knowing how to run a boat. I mean, you could my buddy took a boat out on St. Clair, and he didn't know how to run big water. And I'll tell you what, he had that thing trimmed up so high, I really thought we were gonna capsize the boat. I thought he was gonna flip the boat or something because we were in 3.5 footers. He had it trimmed up so high. I mean, we were literally coming over waves, getting a ton of air and coming down on our backs. So,
wow.
Start small, learn how to fish out of a boat, and then as you want, kind of move up. But
yeah, for sure.
Okay, sorry, we missed a question. What swim bait should I buy? If you're just getting into swim bait fishing, okay, hard body swim bait. Alex has a good video, but River to CS Waver is a great glide bait style, or the Jackal Gantarelle. They have it in a junior size and a regular full 6.5-inch size.
Awesome bait. Great bait. Go check out my video. Can I link videos?
I'll link it real quick because it won't let you.
Yeah. Oh, come on, let me. I didn't get a 300 size reel. I got the 200 just because, I mean, from everything I've read, the 200 it literally holds just enough line. Like once I'm at a full cast, I still have like maybe 40 or 50 yards of line on the reel. So I used to run a 5500 C3 Abu, an older one. It was an ultra cast, and I just don't like that humongous profile. I kind of just want a little bit smaller. That way I can really get my hand around the reel, tuck that reel handle, and that's why. And I mean, I'm not going to be. Most of my swim bait fishing is done. Literally, I'll like flip a gantar rail like a flipping bait on beds, and then I'll cast that mag draft. But I mean, I'm not going to be like bombing it as far as I can get it. You know what I mean? I'm going to make a pretty good long cast and just kind of slow roll it back. So.
Yeah. Well, the thing too is, I mean, I don't know a lot of guys who've thrown those big baits, but you try to throw those baits a long, long, long way, and you try to wind up as hard as you can and launch that thing. It helicopters.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. The big hard baits, all helicopter. I've never had one not. And I don't know. I mean, the only time they don't is when I underhand cast them. You know what I mean? But it's not very convenient when there's two of us on the front of the boat and I'm hucking an 8-foot rod and a 4-ounce bait. You know, I mean, sometimes you got to go overhand with it.
Yeah. Someone asked about Bass Tracker boats as a first boat. It's a great boat. Any aluminum body boat with, you know, a decent motor on the back and a good trolling motor and good electronics is a good starting boat. And like Erie Basson says, if you're not fishing that giant water, go for a Bass Tracker, man. It's a great boat.
Yep.
Any aluminum body boat.
And if you're fishing lakes like mine, TVA lakes, where the wind gets up, don't go out when the wind gets up. I had a buddy the other day texting me. He's like, hey, man, you going fishing? I'm like, nope, wind's supposed to blow 25 miles an hour, and I'm not going to go deal with it. And he said, well, I'm going to go out there. And he's got a smaller boat. And they lasted about half the day and had to come in because it got so bad that the water was coming over in the boat. And I said, told you, just don't play with the wind. Don't play with the weather.
Well, if I wasn't fishing the Great Lakes, if I just fished inland, honest to God, I probably wouldn't have, I would have gone with like a Crestliner or an Express, like one of those smaller aluminum boats. One, it saves you money. Two, saves you a lot of gas. And three, it's super maneuverable.
Mm-hmm. Dude, have you seen the new Lund 21-foot boats that you can put a 250 on?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I've been searching and looking, and I mean, I love skeeters. So we got a skeeter. I love our skeeter, and I'll probably end up buying a skeeter. But that dang gone thing is sweet. It has got, you can lay down in the lod rock. It's got like a 120-inch beam. That's huge.
Yeah.
You'd have to build a garage for it. That's how big it is. That's huge.
Well, I was looking at the new Express boats because Skylar Hamilton's going to run one on the Elite Series.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can put a 250 on it. It's an aluminum boat, and it's got like a 90-inch beam, right? They clock that thing at like 87 miles an hour or something.
Yeah, I was about to say probably run 90.
Yeah.
I mean, whew. You put the right prop on that thing and get someone to tune that engine right, do you run 110 in that boat?
Well, you flash the ECU and you make it a 300 motor, and you're gonna kill yourself. Someone asked, do we plan on doing any stuff with the Guggen Squad in the future? I've had the opportunity to fish with Alex, John B, Lunkers TV, and Chris Bula, and I know AP's gonna come back up and fish with me, and so is Chris. And I think AP actually talked about fishing with you, Alex, this spring when you're on those fishing.
Yeah. Anybody, I mean, if he wants to, he can come on.
Yeah.
He throws a rod in my boat, I'm going to drown him, but yeah, he can come on.
Someone asked, did I play rep hockey growing up? I played hockey since the age of 4.5. Just as soon as I got into kindergarten, I started playing. And I played goalie my entire life. And I played all throughout high school. Decided for some odd reason to stop in college. And now I'm playing old men's league. So I do have some hockey footage that I was going to put up this week, but I played terrible. And it was like the other team forfeited, so I just I just whined the whole time.
I couldn't skate to save my life. I'd look like a newborn baby giraffe out there. Legs shaking, going everywhere. Yeah.
Joe, I didn't watch the Winter Classic between the Blues and I think they played the Blackhawks. I only watched part of the one with the Wings and the Maple Leafs. That's awesome, Dawson. Dawson said he fishes a lot of local tournaments and won a lot because of tips from YouTubers. That's great, man.
That's what I like to hear.
That's why we do this.
My job.
You and I both, that's the reason we do this, is because we like the community and we like to share our knowledge and our information with you guys.
Yep. Hey, my new video just dropped. I just realized, well, it didn't just drop. It dropped like 20 minutes ago. But when we're done here, you need to go check it out. It is late winter tactics. Because right now I know it's tough for a lot of you guys to catch fish that don't have ice on your lakes. Because I've never seen a lake freeze over. So this is for guys that like live Kentucky and south.
Yeah, exactly. Hook us up with some questions, guys.
I actually met a kid the other day, it was funny. We were fishing down a stretch of bank, and him and his dad were coming the other way, so we decided to go around him. And it was so funny. And he's like 10 or 11 years old, and he was like, "I watch all your videos." And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love your channel." And I was like, "Oh, cool, man." It was just so cool. He was so excited to meet me, and it was just like so. I don't know. It was really humbling to realize that that there's kids out there that watch my videos, and like look up to me. It's just kind of awesome.
Was that the one where you included that clip in your video, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I ended up giving him some unreleased Beast Coast stuff, so I'm sure he's a pretty happy kid.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Thanks for the support, Ronnie.
Alex and I are actually teammates now on the Beast Coast team, which I'm super, super pumped about. I mean, if you guys can't tell, I'm like really, really excited to be part of that team because you have us 3 YouTubers, Walker Wilson, Alex, and myself, and then you also have some really, really great Instagram guys, Landon Whiskey, who I met this past spring on St. Clair, Vince Morton, and then I think there's 1 or 2 others on Instagram. So it's a great team to be part of.
Yeah. The most premium tungsten at the cheapest prices you'll ever find. Done. You'll never find anything cheaper. Sorry. It's just fact. Not opinion, that's fact.
Someone asked where I went to high school. I went to Dow High. Or Josh asked where I went to high school. I went to Dow High. So I've been in Midland my entire life.
Yeah, Fort Loudon, man. Right now, this is one of my local lakes. It's actually the headwaters of the Tennessee River system, but it's tough right now, man. It's muddy, it's cold. You might be able to find them deep, but to tell you the truth, I just avoid that place until about April, and then I start going back and fishing because when they bring the water back up and the fish start to get pre-spawn and the shad start to spawn, kill it.
Well, that's
yeah
a good question. Why is that? Because I've heard that like multiple times.
Like why is
it
just so bad?
Yeah.
It's because it's a river. It's just a giant river channel is all it is. It's dammed off at the end of Loudon where it dumps into Watts Bar, and it's just I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like you have like the bank, right, and the river channel. Well, from the river channel to the bank, it's like 20 foot at the edge of the river channel, and then it drops off into like Never Never Land. And then from there, it's like a gradual slope up to, the bank. You go from 20 to like a gradual slope up to 2 foot of water. Yeah. And so when the water gets way down, it just literally, there's like no clean water anywhere. You know what I mean? Like even deep, there's not clean water. It's just dirty, nasty, just hard to fish, cold. It's coming out of the mountains. So the water's even colder because it's coming out of the mountains. And you know what I mean? It's just tough. But when they bring the water back up, it cleans up. They start pumping water again, start filtering that water through that dam. The current makes the fish set up on the ledges. I mean, it's awesome.
For sure. That's interesting. Because I hear that a lot about Loudon.
Yeah, it's a rough lake in the winter. I just don't, and it's dangerous too, because like it'll get so far down that there's stuff sticking up out of the water that literally, like, it has never stuck up out of the water before. You know what I mean? And stuff floats. I mean, stuff comes up off the bottom. You'll be running down the river channel, and there'll be a whole tree that's come off the bottom and it's floating down the river.
Well, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Because one thing I've noticed in your videos too, even when you fish the lake that you go to all the time, the thing,
Cherokee.
Yeah. I didn't know if you wanted me to say it, but even when you fish Cherokee, like you can see on the bank the water lines. So I mean, you can see how much that water is fluctuating and moving up and down.
Yeah, right now it's 23 feet down. So there's literally 23 foot of bank that's usually underwater. It'll be under the water in the summer. So
that's crazy. Yeah, Josh, Landon is a beast on Erie. He can catch some tanks.
Hey, to answer Lady Bass's question, Derek is working on getting stuff shipped to Canada. That's the next like thing on the list to do. It's just figuring out the shipping rates or whatever. I mean, he said it's like a business thing. It's an analytics thing that I don't know nothing about. Like he has to do it. You know what I mean? I don't have an answer. Just when he gets it done is when it gets done.
And they just moved their warehouse to Connecticut, so be kind of patient with a little bit of stuff. So they're moving into a new warehouse. Someone asked about sponsorships, and their particular question was, do you ever think you'll find another sponsor you want to be sponsored by? And of course, but the thing about sponsorships for me, and I know it's the same way for Alex because we've had this conversation, is finding companies where your values and their values align. And when you can find a company with an owner who you really believe in his vision for the company and also believe in his morals and values of where he wants to take the company, that's the company you want to work for. And that's what I look for when looking for a company. And so if I can continually find that with the companies I'm sponsored with or sponsored by, then I will promise you I'm not going to leave that company.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Every company I work with, I believe in their products and I use them on a consistent basis.
Well, I got a lot of flack for that Pizzy Fun reel video that I posted, but I'll tell you what, and I'm not sponsored by them. Totally, they just, I mean, honest to God, just sent me some reels. But they are the only sponsor that I have, and I wasn't partnered with Beast Coast at the time, that sent me a New Year's and Christmas text. So I thought that was really cool. I mean, yeah.
That's the thing too, man. I mean, like with Derek and whoever else it may be, I mean, like it's just, you know, they're my buddies too. You know what I mean? They're sponsors and there's business there, but you know, they're buddies too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, okay, you've got Garmin's, right?
Yeah.
Okay. On my Lowrance, I have a video recording mode where I can put in a micro USB and it records like, you know, whatever it's seeing on the graph. Well, but what I can't figure out is how do I record like just a certain section of something, because like when I stick the card in and hit record, it like starts recording like how do you keep it from recording all day? Like there isn't like a start and a stop on mine. It's just like you stick the card in and then you have to just hit record and just let it go.
No clue.
And it's like, the weirdest thing.
Literally, seriously, zero clue. I have the same thing on my Garmin, but I haven't tried to record on it yet.
Because I was going to record some stuff just to kind of show some people like kind of what I see and what I interpret, but I can't ever get it to work right. And it's like a delay too. So say you like find a school of fish and you hit record, well, it'll like miss the whole school and it'll just get like just the bottom. You know what I mean? And then when I try to put it on my computer, it's just, that's a joke. Like it comes out just crazy looking. It's like it's like all distorted and small, and I was like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I haven't recorded anything yet. Ronnie was asking though. His question was, do we ever want to do any graph interpretation videos and show people how to read graphs? Yeah, I do.
It's just figuring out how to do it.
Yeah. One is figuring out how to do it, and two, it's really not being lazy and sitting down and doing it.
Yeah, because my problem is if I graph a school of fish, I'm going to fish those fish. I'm not worried about telling y'all what I see. I'm worried about getting up there and throwing something, which I guess I'm just going to have to get it out of my mind and do it sometime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was the other day, that video that come out yesterday. That's all we were doing is we were graphing those fish and following them around, dropping on them.
Well, that's a perfect example. If you guys watched Alex's video, you can literally see him drop his bait right next to the boat, and they're catching fish underneath the boat. That's because they're graphed them and they figured out where the school was, and yeah.
Yep. And we were throwing something I'm not going to talk about, so shut up.
He's just vertically jigging.
That's right. A drop shot. A drop shot and a blade bait.
And that Demiki rig, didn't you catch one on that?
No, I didn't. I couldn't get him to bite it.
Oh, I thought that first one did. My bad.
That was on a drop shot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Question. Looking for a crank and reel for a 7'1" medium power fast action rod. I would either get a 6'4" or a 5'1" Depends on if you're deep cranking, like super deep, go with a 5'1". If you're just all around crankbait reel, 6'4".
And right now, I got a pro qualifier on my small crankbait rod just because I got them one time for like, they're like, I don't know, they retail for like $150, and I got them for like $49.99 at a New Year's sale. But right now you can go on eBay and get a Tatula and a 6.3-1. It's the 100 size for, I found them for as cheap as $69.
Dang, that's a steal.
Yeah, so grab them up while you can. And let's watch, like, I tell you a big thing that I do is Amazon and eBay. So I'll put like a watch on something that seems fairly cheap to me, and I'll watch it, and they'll drop it and drop it and drop it as more people start to watch it. And like it'll eventually get to the point where it's stupid cheap and you just grab one. You can get, I'm not playing. Like on eBay, I got a, what was it? It was like a mag draft or something. I can't remember. It was a really expensive swim bait. Like a $30 or $40 swim bait. And I got it for like $12 free shipping because like 400 people were watching it. And so they just kept dropping the price on it.
That's silly.
Yeah.
I got to get on eBay. I buy too much stuff for way too much money.
Yeah, I ain't paying no full price for no reels no more.
I am a budget fisherman though. Like all those baits, a lot of people commented on those dual baits that I bought, those hard baits. They were on sale for like 65% off when I bought them. They were like $23 or something.
Yeah. See, I wish I'd have bought one. I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize what that was. Like, you know what I mean?
I didn't know how good they'd be. They could have been junk, right? I could have just bought the worst baits on the market, but
yeah.
Do you like throwing normal crankbaits or square bills better?
Normal. Like just normal. Like I barely ever throw a square bill. Like I throw like a 200 or 300 size Bandit or like a 3XD or something like that. I just don't throw a square bill a lot.
And I don't throw a square bill either, other than the Crush 75X flat from 6 cents. And the reason I really like that bait, it has flat sides with a real narrow bill, and that has a super, super tight wobble, and I throw that real early spring.
Mm-hmm. I'll throw a flat side, yeah.
It's a one knocker.
Yeah. I say I don't throw a square bill a lot. I do early spring, and there's like about a 3-4 week period, and they'll eat a square bill, and then the shads start to spawn, and they start to eat a spinnerbait, and I just don't even think about a square bill anymore. I pick up a swim bait and a spinnerbait, and I just go to town on them.
Yeah.
So.
Have you ever painted any baits?
Mm-hmm. I've painted a whopper plopper. I've painted some crankbaits. I've painted all kinds of stuff. Every time I get a fluke out of a drop shot, I take a Sharpie and a spiky pen to it. Yeah, because y'all got thread fin up there.
No.
Shad? No. So a little thread fin about yay long. They get big, but normally they're about yay long.
Yeah.
I got a little black dot right on their gill plate. So I put me a little black dot and a little bit of chartreuse on the tail and up the body, and it looks just like one. So.
See, that's something I got to do more, is like add a little bit more color to my baits or change them up a little bit.
It may not do anything at all, but for me, it just, you know what I mean? It's a confidence thing.
Right. Living for Lunkers. I will be at the Novi show next weekend. It's the ultimate fishing show down in Novi. I'll be at the Frank's booth, but I'll be posting it all over Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and I'll be all over the show. I'm actually going to do I'm going to do a meetup there. So, and I'll probably be doing some live feeds or live streams on my Instagram channel, or Instagram page, with the guys from Frank's, with some of my other sponsors. I think Garmin will be there. and I was like talking to Mark McEwen. He's like the big Garmin rep, so you'll find me.
Somebody said, "Do you dye your bait?" Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do as well.
All depending on what the crawfish look like and all that. I'll tell you, I go rock flipping in the creek and see what the crawfish look like. Because, I mean, I'll match the hatch exactly, you know.
Well, I have every color that J&M sells. I have the red, I have the methylite, and the chartreuse. And I even have the blue. The blue, I think, is like an underrated color because...
What did you call it? What did you call it? Say the orange again.
Methylate?
Methylate.
Methylate? Is that what it is?
Methylate.
Well, I have that one.
I thought... Yeah. Sorry, I just had to stop you on that one.
But,
I said the methylite. It's like a new fuel kind.
Yeah.
New fuel source, methylite. Sorry.
Methylite. But the blue is underrated because a lot of times, especially during the fall, I'll take a green pumpkin and just dye like just the pinchers, just a tiny bit blue. And I really think it probably does nothing, but in my mind, it makes a big difference.
I tell you, almost all of our bait fish around here have some kind of blue in them. Yeah. And even striper, like small striper, when they're little, they have like a fluorescent blue tail. And you can't tell me the largemouth don't try to eat a little striper. Right. So that fluorescent blue, I'm telling you, is something. I think that's a sleeper.
Have you seen those barfish looking baits? Like
yeah.
I actually like that color a lot.
KVD won the Sam Rayburn tournament. I think it's where was it Sam Rayburn that he won this year deep cranking. He was fishing the barfish. Yeah,
Toledo Bend, yeah.
Yeah, I was Toledo Bend, yeah. And I tell you, man, I mean, I mean, you know, you have a little striper that's as big as your hand. I think a largemouth would eat that. So I mean, a barfish and a striper are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I think they'd eat that for sure. Well, bass eat other bass, right?
Yeah.
So they're just opportunistic fishermen.
I got to order a bunch of 10XDs and 6XDs for summer rolls back around. I may order me a couple barfish and toss it around just to see what it does.
Yeah. Major League Bass says bananas are the best snacks for your boat. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Is Frank's Great Outdoors having any deals on baits at the show? I'm sure they will. I haven't been involved enough with them to know exactly what their deals are, but they always have some decent deals. Shoot us some questions, guys. Hook us up with some stuff. Oh, I'm sure you missed some questions. How many fish fenders do you have on your boat?
2. We got a HDS 9 Gen 3 in the front and HDS 12 in the back.
I have 2 as well.
I would like to have 4, but you know.
I want to have another 10 up front for my Panoptics, and then I can run sonar and graph on one, and then I have another 10 at the dash. And
yeah,
I can run
I'd like
graph
to be able
on one.
I'd like to be able to do split screen, down imaging and side imaging on one, and then do graph sonar on another, and then on the front, I'd like to do the same with the down imaging, side imaging, and then just a full graph on another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I own a dog. His name's GC. He's the man.
Chad Pipkins actually posted a picture of his boat. He has 3 graphs up front. He has a 12 Humminbird, a 10 Humminbird, and then a smaller, like 9 Humminbird.
Dang.
I don't know what he's running up there. He's got to be running the 360. He probably has one just for graphing, and then I don't know what his third one's for.
Oh, did you see Skeet Reese's boat last year? He had 3 12s in the back. He had them on like a rack. He had like one here, one in the center, and then one here. It looked like a spaceship.
That's crazy.
And I mean, if he would run like, you know, he had mapping, and then he had like down imaging, side imaging, and then something else over here. Nuts.
That's silliness.
Yes, I do. I don't have like a job. I substitute teach when I'm not going to school because I'm going to school to be an elementary school teacher. So getting experience for my future career. And then I mow in the summer. So I used to have a really good job, and I said, screw real jobs. I'm going back to school.
Someone asked if we've seen the Gerald Swindle Positive Motivation, the PMA video. Positive Mental Attitude. I actually watch it. I've watched it probably twice. And then he has a bunch of them.
Is that where he's talking at the he's like at a convention or something and he's speaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I've seen that, yeah.
Favorite brand of underspin? I'm still playing around. I haven't found one that I really fell in love with yet. So
I've thrown an underspin all of about once. I probably need to change that, but I'll just say that. I have one in the boat.
I want to try the Sixth Sense one, the Divine Underspin or Divine under Swim. I don't know what they call it, but I haven't thrown it. I haven't gotten my hands on any, and I haven't gotten them to send me any.
I like there's somebody that's making one. It's got like 2 little wires that come out of the bottom, and it's got 2 small blades. I'd like to try that because apparently when you stop it, like the head is designed somehow where it'll set straight up on the bottom like this on the 2 little things, and then you can start reeling it again.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I fish a scrounger. I don't talk about it much, but I fish one.
I never have.
It's a killer, man. There's a reason Aaron Martins loves it so much.
Probably. What's you edit with Final Cut and I edit with Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
A good starting software, GoPro Studio, iMovie, or Windows Movie Maker.
Yep. If I could suggest a computer, it would just be a Mac. I know they're expensive, but it's worth it because they don't mess up. My Mac's going on 4 years old now, and the thing just runs just like the day I bought it.
Well, especially if you're not like doing, I don't know. Like I had a Mac and my brother used it for a whole bunch of different stuff, and I mean it eventually slows down, but if you're using it intelligently, it stays as fast as the day you bought it.
My brother was using it for all kinds of different stuff, hacking the Russian, stuff like that. I mean, it's no big deal, but
yeah,
he finally back hacked us and died.
Oh, I saw a question. I thought J&M, is that to me or is that for Alex? He says he wants to come fishing with us in the spring. But
maybe we can work that out.
Yeah,
I'll be all about
it. Ronnie says Ben's brother hacked Hillary's email.
That's right. Is he dead now too? Let's hope not.
Right. There was a good question on here that I missed. Oh, Kyle Hayes asked if I could put an approximate time on how many hours I've spent on Huron. How many hours do I think it'd be? Well, we can do an approximate calculation here.
Most of his life, most of his adult life.
We'll say I've spent. You can answer another question. What do you have an external hard drive?
Yeah, it's a 1 terabyte Seagate. There it is. It's all beat to crap, but I'm gonna get me another one. I think I'm gonna get me a 2 terabyte when this one fills up, but I'm a while from filling it up.
I've probably spent a little over 1,000 hours in the past 2 years on Lake Huron, and a lot of it spent graphing. I mean, that's the thing a lot of people don't see. You see my 10 or 15-minute video of me catching them, but you don't see me out there graphing. And I know you do the same thing, Alex. I know you guys did the same thing the other day when you guys whacked them.
Yeah, it was sitting down and finding them and There was a lot of stopping and putting the rods down and finding them again, and stopping and putting the rods down and finding them again.
Yeah.
We didn't catch. I mean, we probably caught 8, 9 fish, but they were all good ones. So
I have 2 2 terabyte hard drives. I have a Seagate and I don't know, another one, but literally I was trying to do that edit for you guys, and I have a 2 terabyte drive full of footage. So I have it labeled with the dates of the footage I have on it. And I'll probably have it forever, and just it'll collect dust. I should reuse it, but
Ronnie, I don't know where the Duck River is at. It might be like in my backyard, and I just don't even realize it. I'm from East Tennessee, so if that helps to kind of narrow it down.
Someone asked me if I fish Saginaw Bay. I fished it a little bit. I like to fish north on Huron, though. Yes, I have fished Alpena area on Huron.
Someone said, when graphing, are you looking for bait, sunken islands, or is it a secret? It's a total secret, and you'll never know. No, looking for everything. I mean, it depends on what the fish are set up on, what the current's doing, what kind of bait are you looking for, rock, points, sunken islands, saddles. I mean, it could be everything. Like the other day, we were, the bass right now, some of them are really shallow and some of them are really deep. And the ones that are deep are just on flat clay stuff, and they orient to the bait, and they'll follow the bait around like sharks or wolves following a pack of caribou. And so what you do is you'll pull into a place, and usually you can figure out where they're at, marked by where the seagulls are diving. So you go find them, and you'll grab the school of bait, and usually there's bass around the bait fish, and you can just drop on them and follow them around and catch them. Summertime, I'm looking for, ends of points, rock piles, those kinds of things. And, if the current wants to set them up right, I can usually find them that way.
Yeah. On the big water, like if we're talking Great Lakes, what I'm looking for, a lot of it is transition. A lot of it is areas where those fish are going to set up based on bait fish. So if someone wants to watch an hour and 20 minutes into this, they can probably figure this out. But what you're looking for is where one type of bottom meets with a different type of bottom, or there's a contour change. And when you find that, those fish might not be on it today, but if you mark it and you just, I run a lot of spots. So when I'm out there fishing, I'll run probably 15 to 20 spots in a day, and might find 2 of those spots with fish on them. So you just, it's just a lot of time looking for stuff that's different. And also contour changes. Even if you can find a 6-inch drop on your graph, and a lot of it's side imaging, if you can find a 6-inch drop, you're going to find some bait that's suspended up over it, or you can find fish that relate to that sometime.
Yeah, you would be amazed what a bass will sit on. It could literally be that big of a drop, and there'll be a largemouth sitting right on the other side of it. It's just crazy.
Well, I caught 27 pounds off one rock. Not one rock pile, off one rock last year. And I literally had to get my Panoptics lined up on the rock so I could make the exact cast, and if I missed it 2 foot to the right, I wouldn't get bit. And it was a matter of a rock that was maybe a 2 foot across, 2 foot diameter by 2 foot. And if I wasn't on it, the fish weren't going to eat it.
Wow.
So
that sounds like a place near me. It's a rock pile the size of the hood of my truck. And if you don't hit the top of the rock pile every time, you will not get bit.
Yeah.
Every time. It's just crazy. And it's like, when I say it's a rock pile, it's like that. It's like 4 rocks the size of, they're just big old boulder rocks, but it's like 4 of them, and they're just in a circle, and the bass get on it.
Yeah. Someone asked how often I go smallie fishing, or how often I go largemouth fishing. This season, early in the year, I fished for largemouth a lot. I went out and just fished for largemouth a ton because it's easy, it's inland. Next season, I promise you're going to see about 98% smallmouth, and unless I'm traveling, 2% largemouth. I mean, I will only go largemouth fishing if I can't go out smallmouth fishing. So
I've never. It's strange when people say like, "Are you largemouth fishing or smallmouth fishing?" I've never. There's never been a difference for me because I've
right.
always caught both, and we can always catch both. You know what I mean? Like it's summertime, we catch more largemouth just because the smallmouth go like ridiculously deep. But I mean, at any given moment, I can pull up to a rock pile or a ledge and catch 5 smallmouth and 5 largemouth, and then they just mix together and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and that's the way it is on all our inland lakes. All of our inland lakes are mixed.
Yeah.
So you're gonna, I mean, 90, almost all of our largemouth or all of our lakes are mixed. But when I say smallmouth fishing, I'm talking like big water, like Great Lakes smallmouth stuff.
Yeah. See, and I guess there's nothing. There's not like a lake. Like Cherokee has a lot of smallmouth, but it's also got a lot of largemouth. So it's like a 50-50 split. You know what I mean? It's really dependent on water temperature. That's when, if I could say like, oh, I'm smallmouth fishing because the water's 48 degrees. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you see that tank smallmouth that Matt Lee caught on Cherokee today?
Mm-hmm. That was a
Dude.
freaking donkey. I know it was a donkey because of how big its tail was. You see how fat and thick its tail was, and it had that weird red color to it, dude. That was a 5.5. That was a 5.5 pound smallmouth. I mean, that was a monster.
Yeah. He caught a
I was
giant.
I was a little sick at my stomach when I saw that.
42-degree water, what depth would you start looking for smallmouth at? That's a good question, and it's really dependent on your body of water. So where I'm fishing, the deepest spot of Huron that I venture into where I'm fishing is like 30 foot of water. So those fish are going to be moving out. They're going to be in a winter pattern. I'm going to be looking in 19 to 25, 30 foot of water. And at that point, you're just looking for isolated pieces of cover structure.
When it this is one of those times I just wonder because Dad caught the big smallie with the jacked up jaw.
Yeah.
He caught him in 4 foot of water the other day.
Hey.
So I mean, so you know, but then we caught the rest of them in 35 foot of water. So what do you do?
Well, I mean, there have been times where I'll be out when we catch them deep, and I'll move up to my shallow spot. My shallow spots, I mean, I could stand up in it. And
yeah. Okay. We'll go on with that.
Ben and Alex, he'd like to know our input on, do we think big water smallies and inland lake smallies have different behaviors?
I think I have a different strain of smallies than you do.
The thing about your smallmouth is that they grow so dang long, man.
Mm-hmm.
Your smallmouth are 24 inches and it's a 5-pounder. If I caught a 24-incher, it would be pushing 8 pounds. I mean, it would be just the fattest, roundest football smallie you'd ever see.
Your smallies go like this. My smallies go like that. And I really believe it's too, because I've got, let me see if I can find this picture, and I don't know how well it'll show up, but I caught a smallmouth on a 10XD this year, and it was about a 4-pounder, and it looked like your smallmouth. And then, so here's the picture. I don't know. This is on my Instagram. I think you guys can see it. So this fish right here only weighs about 4 pounds. And, I mean, we have an 18-inch board, and its tail laid off the board. Okay. And then, if I can find this one fish, I don't know where it's at. And I truly believe that it's just a different strain of fish. Right here, this one. Look how fat that fish is, and you see how it grows out, where the other one grew long.
Well, even that one, dude. Look at how long that fish is.
Yeah.
Let me show you a picture of our
strange.
And I think
how dark that one is.
Yeah.
That's not lighting. That fish was actually that dark.
Well, that's one thing Kylie said to me. She goes, why are Alex's smallmouth so much lighter colored than yours?
I don't know. I don't.
Like look at this fish.
Yeah.
I mean, he's football, right? I mean,
Yeah. He's like, I mean,
or
how long is that fish? Like 20 inches, maybe?
maybe.
It's just,
I mean,
yeah, dude. See, that one on the left, or it'd be you're right, but my left when you hold it up, dude, it's such a football. He looks like a football. He's like that. It's just so weird. I think it may have to do with forage, too.
well,
I think
ours are goby eaters.
it may be the fat content of the gobies.
Look at those two fish.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Are gobies high in fat?
I'm sure they are. I mean, they don't have any spines, no bones. It's just all gook.
Muscle, yeah. So I'm sure they're high in fat. It's like those spots that live in Bull and Jabard. They eat those cochineal or whatever they're called. Well,
Yeah.
apparently those things are like nothing but fat. So it's like them sitting around eating Big Macs all day. They just get huge. See, our smallmouth eats threadfin and there's some blueback herring. There's alewives and then crawfish. So maybe just the fact that it's like, they're on a diet.
Well, ours are Great Lakes fish too. I mean, those are Great Lakes fish. If you look at my inland fish, if you look at the fish that I'm catching in the rivers, they are a lot longer and skinnier with just massive fantails because they have to fight the current. So that could be a big thing too.
Yeah. See, in our fish, they enjoy current. Like it's a treat for them to have current. You know what I mean? And they orient the current and all that kind of stuff. And when we're talking current, I'm not talking like they're rolling. It's kind of just a good steady current that they can just comfortably sit in and eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It may just be the way the way they have to live, swim, muscular setup. I mean, it's probably a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Someone has said, are gobies and zebra mussels destroying the Great Lakes? I say no. You're getting clearer water from the zebra mussels, and the gobies are giving the smallmouth a really, really easy meal. So you're going to get a lot fatter smallmouth than you would if they were just chasing bait. It's just a lot easier.
I would say that zebra mussels are not destroying our lakes, but I think they're going to totally change the way we have to fish certain lakes around here.
Yeah.
Because like Norris and Mountain Hill both have zebra mussels in them, and Norris is ridiculously clear. Like on a good cold winter day when there ain't a bunch of movement on the water, you can go up there and sit in 20 foot of water and see the bottom.
Yeah, and zebra mussels are making our water a lot clearer too. So Matt Rhodes asked, what kind of cameras do we have?
I got mine right here.
Yeah, so do I.
I have a Canon EOS Rebel T4i with a Canon 10 to 18 millimeter lens, a video Rode micro mic, and then that's just my little dead cat. Here's the mic. The mic is actually the bomb. It sounds as good or better than the big expensive one, and this one's only $100. So, and then I run a Joby Gorilla Pod with the adjustable thing here. So
yeah, and I don't actually run a DSLR yet. I'm still running a handheld point and shoot. Mine's a Canon G7X, and I run the little micro muff on top. I actually made my micro muff, and then I just have a little $10 tripod off Amazon. So
gets the job done. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you don't need a big giant camera to be successful on YouTube, though. I mean, look at One Rod. All you need to do is be in front of a camera.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that you like to catch as much as you like to catch bass? No.
So here's my thing, though. Here's the reason why is that for me, I'm so focused on figuring the bass out, right? I mean, I want to understand why I'm catching them, how I'm catching them. And so I'm just consumed by that chase. It's not that I don't want to catch other fish. It's just I'm so consumed by that chase.
See, I like, if I saw a striper on the graph and I thought I could catch him, or a rockfish, I mean, like a big one, I'd probably do it. Or like if I can go catch a muskie, I'll go do it just for the fun of it. But like if I know I can go catch big smallmouth, I'm going to go do that before I do anything else.
Yeah, agreed.
No, I don't replace the hooks on my nickel stuff because they come with Gamakatsus. Yeah, usually it's almost all Gamakatsus. So I never find the need to replace them unless they dull out over time or something like that, or I break one on accident.
Sorry, guys. I accidentally just clicked on my editing software, and now I can't force quit it. There it goes. Of course it does.
Yeah, guys, nickels is primo, man. I that was one when I got that worked out. I was just felt really blessed and was really excited about it because I've used nickels for a long time and they are super, super premium. Made in America. It's awesome.
Yeah, guys, get 10 people on this live stream soon. Get them on here. Go log in from your mom's account, your brother's account, your sister's account, whatever. If we get 10 more people, we're going to give away 4 Chippewa lures, Bandit Smallie jigs. Let me show you guys a video of this stuff because this is a great little hair jig. If we can get 30 people, he said he's going to give 4 of these away. It's a great smallmouth bait, great fish catcher. Anytime those fish are feeding up on crawfish-looking baits. I've never caught a spoonbill. I saw Flair catch a giant spoonbill.
You don't catch spoonbill, you snag them. They don't
Really?
eat anything. You just like happen to snag one. It's all luck, yeah. Because they're filter feeders. They just like go through the river channel with their mouth open and just eat.
I caught a gar one. Well, I hooked a gar.
I had a gar follow my, right after I bought my ice line, I had one followed all the way to the boat at Pickwick, and I freaked out. I was like, nuh-uh, you ain't eating this thing.
That's where I caught mine, dude.
Really?
It was back in Coffee Slough on Pickwick. We were up there, and we were fishing shallow for spawners. And, dude, I was throwing that chatterbait, and I thought I set into, like, a tree because it just felt, like, super heavy. I set the hook, and I got it up next to the boat. And I'm not kidding. This thing must have been 40, 45 inches, and all I had was a little bass net. There's no chance. I mean,
I had a buddy who foul hooked one with a shaky head one time.
Oh,
he said, I bet I can't hook it. And I was like, you better be careful. He flipped it in there with a spinning rod and goes zip and hit him, dude. And he come up the boat's like the same deal. He's like 40 inches long. And all we had was a bass net and a towel. We wrapped the towel around his mouth and was like trying to hold him. He was cutting us out of pieces. It was great.
That would be sick. Could you get it? Did you get it in the boat?
Yeah, we got in the boat and took pictures with it. It's been forever ago, dude. It's been like it's been longer. It's probably 5 years ago that happened. Like before I ever started my YouTube channel or anything.
That would be crazy. Chatterbait brands that don't rise as much as a Z-Man.
Nichols makes a chatterbox, but I bend the blades on them. That's the number one thing. If you don't want your chatterbait to rise, bend the blade a little bit, and it'll force it down.
See, I used to throw the Phoenix ones, but they changed the blade style, and it doesn't run as good now. The new ones, because Z-Man made them change. They hooked it to the head.
Man, and every chatterbait's gonna rise. That's just part of fishing them.
Well,
they were never designed to fish deep. I don't think.
And the majority of the time I'm fishing a chatterbait, I'm fishing it, I'd say, really 3 to 5 foot below the surface. I just want it ticking the top of the grass.
Yeah. Big head carp. I know we got all kinds of carp. We got buffalo and the big old Asian carp, and heck, I seen a koi one time swimming around in Loudon. I'm not playing. It was an orange and black and white koi.
A koi fish.
A koi. The only thing I can figure is somebody let it loose.
That is.
I mean, like, and what happens is, me and my dad call it something I can't say on the live stream, but the carp get in the back of his pockets and start spawning, and dude, you pull into a pocket and there'll be 500 freaking carp back there, and they're flopping out of the water and rolling over and sucking and doing all kinds of crap, and I mean, and you'll see, and every now and then you'll see like an orange one come swimming through, and I guess it's a koi if somebody's let loose or something like that.
Dude, have you seen the giant goldfish that people catch? Like when people let goldfish loose and you catch like a 30-pound goldfish? Come on.
I'd love to catch. You know those beta fish, like little beta, like the fighting fish?
Yeah.
You ever have one of those? You know those things get like 7.5 pounds if you put them in like a pond?
No.
Yeah, they grow as big as whatever body of water they're in, and they'll get like huge. And there's like pictures of people who's like caught them on like bass tackle.
That would be silly. That would be silly. What was I gonna say? Oh, we caught a gold orange fish or a gold largemouth last year.
Really? You caught one?
Yeah, up in a lake up in Clare that I fished. It was literally it was a largemouth, but it was just as gold as gold could ever be. Yeah.
Dude, I've seen those. They got them in Texas too.
I don't understand what it.
Apparently, it's a pigmentation thing. Apparently, it's like being albino. They're born that way. Okay. It's just a pigmentation thing when they're an egg.
Well, like those fish with the super black spots on them, that's a pigment thing too. A lot of people think it's like a disease. It's actually just a pigment thing caused, one, by stress, and two, by being around certain water clarities and certain bottom compositions.
See, ours have fungus. We have a fungus down here. I talked to the fisheries guy, and ours that have the black spots, it's a fungus. It ain't pigment. And then some are the pigmentation, but he said most of it on ours is fungus from runoff from farmers and stuff.
That's crazy. Like that'd be weird to catch a fish and know that it's, yeah.
Yeah, the fungus among us.
Yeah, I've seen them a lot on St. Clair. We don't get them so much on Huron, but St. Clair. This spring we caught probably 10 to 15 fish in one day that had the black spots.
Really? Do y'all have that largemouth bass disease up there?
No.
See,
that was a huge thing by you guys, wasn't it?
Yeah, it killed a bunch of fish down here. I forgot what lake it was in. It killed a bunch, but I had one this year that died on me. I caught it, and it was about a 3.5 pounder, and got it up next to the boat. It had sores all over it and everything. And as soon as I boat flipped that fish, it died. I was fixated and it was dead.
That's kind of weird.
And it's because it had that largemouth bass disease. And it apparently that last little bit of stress of me catching it killed it. That poor thing, he didn't last a second.
Because I know you mentioned catching fish 35 foot deep. Do you guys fizz them?
Yeah, we will if their air bladders blow up.
Yeah.
Usually, like all those smallmouth we caught, none of their air bladders blew up. They do it more. The largemouth do it worse than the smallmouth do. I'm not really sure why.
Yeah. Do you fizz them? Do you fizz them through the side, or you fizz them down the throat?
The dad usually does it through the throat, but I've always done it under the fin. That's where you go to the fin and go like 4 scales back or whatever.
So yeah, the only way I've ever learned to do it was down the throat. You stick that hypodermic needle right in their opening, and you can just hear it kind of release. But I hear it's actually better to go. You get more of their swim bladder release through the side.
I've not had to do one in a long time because I just kind of avoid it in the winter. I'm not afraid to catch them deep because it doesn't stress them out as bad because the water's so cold. But in the summer, if they're more than 20 feet, I just don't even want to mess with it because you'll kill more fish than you can catch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And apparently, I've always heard it: hold them under the water and roll them on their side and stick that needle in. And you can watch the bubbles come out. And when the bubbles stop, pull the needle out, roll them on their top and hold them and hold their tail so for like 10 seconds and just push them down, and they'll just swim off.
Yeah. I was just curious because I don't really know what made me think about it. St. Clair and drop shot fishing, I think. Do you watch Trailer Park Boys?
I don't even know what that is.
Me either. Oh, we'll go for a couple more minutes here. This live stream has been awesome, but
It has. I've had fun.
I know we get tons and tons of questions. I think someone asked if I've been out ice fishing. I have not been out. Well, I've been out ice fishing one time, and it was really, really it was really slow.
Ronnie asked how long have I spent how long have we tried to spend reviving a bass? A while. I had a smallmouth die on me the other day. I really don't know why she died. I don't know what happened to her, but we caught her and got her in the boat and stuck her in the live well. Just, we were going to take pictures or whatever. And man, it just died. She just rolled up. And so I flipped her over and I was going to put her back and try to get her to go back, and she just wouldn't. I don't know what happened to her. So I worked her, put her back in the live well with some Rejuvenate and a little bit of peroxide, Mountain Dew over her gills, and she just wouldn't. She just died. I don't know what happened to her.
I had a smallmouth do that on me 2 summers back, or 2 winters ago.
It's weird. Her side bubbled up, but it wasn't her air bladder. It was like back more. It was like her stomach, and it when we caught her, it humped up real big, and it was such a strange thing. I've never seen anything like it.
Sorry, I'm trying to do this Instagram story real quick to try and get people in here. But dude, mine was weird because we didn't even catch it deep. It was just a real cold day. We caught the fish, and only reason I put it in the live well was to get a picture with it.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes after I went to look at it, and it just started kind of looking not great.
Funny. Yeah.
I don't know. I have zero clue what happened to it.
That was the same with ours. We caught that fish out of, maybe 8 foot of water. It wasn't deep, and it just put it in the live well, and it puked up a shad, and its stomach blew up, and it got this weird gray color, and just done. It was gone.
Yeah.
What's your longest streak for consecutively catching fish, man?
Consecutive
days.
I had 2 days last season where I didn't catch them. Where I didn't catch one fish, right?
Yeah.
This season was a lot. It wasn't nearly as good, but I spent a lot of time graphing and fishing a lot of new water this year. Not last season, but the season before, I spent a lot of time just fishing used water and fishing water I knew I could go catch fish on.
I got skunked the other day when we went to Douglas. I don't know what happened. I was doing everything the same as everybody else and just got skunked. I don't know what the deal was.
That's really tough.
Yeah,
that's tough watching other people catch them. But it's part of fishing, right?
Not catching.
Yeah. Most consecutive days where you went fishing, went out fishing.
Oh, I thought he meant catching fish.
No, that's just a different question.
4 or 5, when we go to Gunnersville or something. We go spend a week just to go fishing. Here, when we're just hanging out, we'll go 2 or 3 days in a row.
Last spring, I went, I think, 12 days where I went out. Even if it was just after work, I would go out. But I think it was 12 days.
I got a feeling when I'm a teacher, it's going to be bad in the summer. Bethany's family has a lake cabin, and I may just go to the lake cabin and stay and just fish.
I don't blame you. I would totally do that. I don't know. I understand, I feel if I could go fishing every single day and it were within my budget and reason to do it, see ya.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know where to find me.
Oh yeah, I mean, if I was rich, dude, whatever, man, I'd fish every day.
I'm actually afraid because I'm looking at houses and stuff, and like, I live with my parents right now, but I really have no expenses. I have a boat, I have a truck, and that's it. When I have that house, it's gonna make me cry. So, okay, here's a question from Dave Northwest. In your opinion, what's the most effective cold water smallmouth lures, baits, or rigs?
Go right ahead, my friend, and then I'll do mine.
Cold water would probably be a tube, a crankbait, or like an ultra slow swim bait. And when I say crankbait, I'm talking because you will find fish that you want a reaction bite from, so that crankbait gives you that option to throw that reaction bait. But the problem I have with throwing a drop shot is that it's up off the bottom, and a lot of times when it's cold, those fish will hug down tight.
I would probably go a spinnerbait when they're shallow, or a small body crankbait, and an Alabama rig. The Alabama rig's not been doing it this year. I don't know what the deal is. I've not caught fish on an Alabama rig good. I caught that one good one, and that's it. It's been very, very strange. But definitely a spinnerbait, small body crankbait, and then I don't really know. I mean, I tell you, we catch a lot of smallmouth topwater because I mean our water is cold as it's going to get to maybe 45 degrees.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can catch smallmouth on topwater almost all year.
So someone asked why we didn't say jerkbait. For me, man, dude,
Yeah, jerkbait.
I cannot hardly keep fish pinned on a jerkbait, to be honest with you. And the problem, I don't know what it is. I have no clue. But plus,
jerkbait. That's one that I forgot. Yeah.
I hate throwing.
That's more of a spring thing for me, though, too. Like spring, when it starts to come from that like to like the last weeks of February into March. There's a couple weeks there where a jerkbait is killer, and then we start getting out the spinner baits and everything like that.
Well, yeah, that's the way it is here too. I mean, mid-May, like right before those fish get on beds, you can catch them on a jerkbait. And
yeah, that's the thing too, man. Is like it's hard for me to be super specific because every year it changes. There's like no consistency. Like usually in March, April, May, spawn time, we catch them on a spinnerbait, usually. But this year it could be totally different. They'd want like a, I don't know what. It's just all dependent on what they're wanting.
Yeah. Okay. Someone asked a good question up here that I totally missed. Alex would be the coolest teacher. Dude, you'll be the sweetest teacher.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's gonna be fun.
What grade do you want to teach again?
I'll teach any grade really at this point, but I'd love to have like third, fourth, or fifth. That's my favorite age group. Third graders are my favorite. They're the bomb.
Yeah. Third graders aren't like as annoying, and don't get me wrong, kids are nice, but third graders aren't as annoying as like a first and second grader. They're finally starting to learn to listen.
Yeah.
And
but they've not got me yet.
Yeah.
There's something happens to little boys and little girls between third and fourth grade, and they just I don't know what happens to them, man. They just start to kind of realize things and start to be mean to each other, and it's just I don't know.
Yeah. What's your favorite jerkbait?
Duo 110.
Yeah.
By far. I mean, for the money, it's like I wouldn't say it's for the money, it's like you're buying a Vision, but you're not. It's, you know, the price tag's way lower.
Yeah.
And the hooks are awesome. Those Kadeshi or whatever they're called, the hooks are just primo.
Yeah.
That new Vision, though, the one that suspends with the backwards barbed hooks, have you seen those? It's a new one. It was on this week on TW or whatever, the Tackle Warehouse thing where they show the new stuff. It's got this crazy looking hook, and it like goes down, and it's like 90 degrees, and then 90 degrees back up, and then has a barb on reversed on the outside.
Well, let me check. Hold on, because they do have those reverse barb hooks on the standard 110s.
Do they? I'd like to just get some of those reverse barbed hooks. Those look really good.
I've actually had issues with those.
Really?
Yeah. Because Casey sent me some. 6 Cents sent me some. So I tossed them on some jerk baits, and dude, I had some issues. They bent out, and I just had issues.
That Clark guy, Clark just said the same thing, that they bend out.
Sorry, I'm not looking right now, guys. I'm trying to find this jerk bait.
That's strange that you pay $25 or $26 for a jerk bait and the hooks bend out.
Right.
I ain't playing that game.
I feel like I saw that jerk bait you're talking about at ICAST this year.
Did you? I didn't know it was so relevant. I mean, like, apparently Megabass has never made a suspending jerk bait. I didn't know that. To answer Kyle's question, I would go to Bullard's Bar in California.
Ooh, that's a good question. What lake would I go to right now? Right now, I'd go to Florida. You're getting fish on beds. They had a really, really mild winter, so those fish are starting to eat up on beds. Okay, we'll answer 2 more questions. We'll end it at 9. Man, I don't even want to end this live stream because it's been like so epic. Compared to all my other ones, this is like, this live stream, we've had questions from the minute I started to.
I dig it. I like this. That's why I wanted to get on. It's been fun.
Yeah. Hook us up with some real good questions. But yeah, Clark just put out a new video, so I want to go over and check that out after I'm off here. Also, go check out Alex's video. He just dropped a video too, talking about winter baits.
Go give it a look.
Did you do that thing?
Some of you guys out.
Did you do that thing where you talked about baits, bank baits, and offshore baits?
The first 2 are for bank fishermen, and the other 2 are for guys who have boats and access to electronics. But the bank fishing baits can transfer to the guys with the boats, but the guys with the boats can't transfer the bank just because you don't have the access to the deep water. But I gave options for both, so the bank guys don't feel left out, because I've done some bank fishing this year, a lot more than I've ever done before. And I have to say, I feel some of the pain now when I know where the fish are out there, but I can't go there because I don't have a boat. So.
Yeah, Kyle, if you link myself and Alex in the video, I'll go check it out for sure.
Sure.
Bearded Bass Project. I'll have to go check that out right now.
Anybody with a beard, I'll go check that out.
Oh, guys, hook us up with. We need 2 questions. Dude, so I was talking to this guy I work with today, and he was telling me about this thing called deprivation chamber, and it's called like floating. And what you do is you go in, it's like meditation. So you go in this pitch. You ever seen Stranger Things? You know where Elle lays at the end of that salt?
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess that's what it is. It's like this super salt, like 1,000 pounds of salt and 10 inches of water, and you lay there and it's pitch black. You can't hear anything. You can't see anything. I guess you like.
I heard
Some
it
people
sends you
have,
on a trip.
that's what I've heard too.
Yeah, I ain't
One of my
doing nothing
buddies
like
was
that.
saying. One of
I
my
don't.
buddies was saying that I should go do it, and
I'm too claustrophobic for that crap. I mean, like they have to put me to sleep to do an MRI on me. I ain't playing that game. Someone asked if I had to cut my beard or my man bun first. It'd be my head. I'd shave my head off tomorrow.
well, didn't you
I love
shave
my
your
hair
beard?
though.
Didn't you shave your beard last year?
Not all the way. I just trim it. Like I'll trim it way down. But I have not took a razor to my face since I was like 17 years old.
When I shave, I look like I'm about 15 years old.
Baby face.
What kind of fish you want to catch? A beta?
A beta? Yeah. I want to catch a golden dorado. That is like that's my dream fish. Things look awesome.
Never even heard of it.
Really? Well, check out a golden dorado when we get off here, dude. It'll blow your mind. They're like I don't know, trout with teeth the size of my pinky finger, and they're gold, and they live in Patagonia in like the mountains of Chile, and it's just like crazy.
Dang. I'll have to check them out.
Okay, here's a question. I'm going to turn this into a question just because this person asked this. Bruce Cell TV, spy baits or jerk bait? That is two totally separate things. A spy bait is not a jerk bait at all. I did a video just kind of introducing spy baits. I need to do a more in-depth video. It's been a while back, but a spy bait is a finesse presentation meant to be fished very, very slowly. It's not meant to be jerked or popped or done anything like that. It's supposed to just be slow rolled, and the props and the body do all the work. While the jerk bait obviously is made to jerk and pop and pull and do all that kind of stuff. So spy baits, jerk baits are two totally separate things.
Yep. Totally. I mean, you can fish in similar areas, but I don't know. I can't say anything because I haven't been catching them on like a spy bait before, but to me, I wouldn't throw them in the same fish.
Is definitely designed for suspended fish. That's where I've caught all the fish I've ever caught on spy bait have been on a suspended fish.
I probably could catch them up here on it. I just never throw one. If you could only use, okay, I'm going to turn this into a question. If you could use only one rod for the rest of your life, would it be a spinning rod or would it be a casting
rod?
I'm thinking I'd throw a medium heavy spinning rod.
Yeah. I'd probably go a medium heavy spinning rod. I mean, I wouldn't ever be able to deep crank again, which just depresses me, but I'd be able to do everything else I like to do.
But you could deep crank with a medium heavy. You just got to throw it on braid.
The reel.
You just got to throw it on.
It's the reel.
Not if you throw it on the 6.2-to-1, man, with like throwing on 30-pound braid, you can still crank that thing down there.
Yeah. It'd be hard, but yeah, I guess you could. Dude, that would be a nightmare to try to get a hook. I'm just thinking about that bomb. You bomb the 6XD out there, and you're just, I guess, as hard as you can go with that spinning rod trying to get it in.
Dude, my 6.2-to-1.
Trying to smack that thing.
That 6.2-to-1 is a beast, man. And they got those 9.0 or 7.1-to-1 Revo rockets now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Dude, you should see me. It's hilarious. Go back and watch some of my cranking videos. A fish will bite. And, you know, obviously that's why I fish an 8-foot rod is because I can really use the rod to get the hooks into them before I can catch up with them with the reel. But, dude, I'll hit one. and like I'll turn like completely around, like, and just start walking back in the boat with them to get them hooked, and then here comes the reeling, dude. And I'm just like, get all the way back down as fast as I can go, trying to get caught up with them because I'm fishing that 5.4.
God, I fish. Only time I'll fish a 5. I have a 5-1-1 Shimano or 5-3-1 Curado. Dude, the only time I will throw that is if I'm throwing a 6 or deeper, 6XD or deeper.
Yeah. See, and when I say deep cranks, I mean like a 10, like a 6 and a 10. Yeah. I love it. That's my favorite thing to do, man.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to end it here. I'm going to talk to Joe because we got up to 27 viewers. So I'm going to see if we can't give away 2, maybe 3 of those bandits. And if you guys are going to be at the tackle show next week at Novi, I will be there. I will have it on my Instagram, my Snapchat, all of my social media. So you'll see all that down in the description below. But also go check Alex's stuff out. Check out his video. He's just posted a new one. But
Sure, for sure. It's always fun, man.
Check out Alex's channel. Check out all his stuff. All his stuff is Alex Rudd Fishing. So Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Twitter, and his YouTube is the main thing, guys. Go check it out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Tight lines. God bless.
See you, friend.
See you, man. See you, buddy. Hope you find your dad.